the bell icon to get new video updates. Today we're gonna discuss the strategic management process and its 4 steps. Let's get going. So what is strategic management? Well, it's a process that involves building a careful understanding of how the world is changing and acknowledge how those changes might impact your company. And so what happens is that we first have to understand our strategy and the performance in our organization. After that, we do environmental and internal scanning, which then leads to strategy formulation and ends with strategy implementations. So, CEOs or top managers must be able to carefully manage all of the possible actions that their companies might take to deal with any changes that occur in their environment, and they do that through the 4-step strategic management process. So, for example, you start with thinking, then you move to viewing, you plan, you go to work. Let's talk about Elon Musk. He is a company leader managing many different companies. Elon must carefully manage all of the actions that his companies might take in responses to changes that occur in those environments. Elon Musk saw an opportunity to build an electric vehicle company that fit with the sustainability trend that we are seeing in the general environment. He built Tesla. And relatedly, Elon is looking at our dwindling resources here on Earth and saying, what would it take to actually colonize Mars? So in this video, we focus on how leading strategically is needed if the company is to achieve the long-term strong performance that they desire, which of course is yet to be determined with Tesla, I think. Let's take a look at number 1. So the strategic management process begins with an understanding of the organization's strategy and performance. Strat management is both an art and a science, meaning that there are multiple conceptualizations of what strategy is or can be, and they're drawn both from recent scientific research as well as ancient history, including military history. Consequently, how leaders understand and interpret the strategy and the performance of their companies is central to understanding strategy. Leaders need to keep a broad eye on their organization so that they know what all of the units and teams and employees in their company is doing. Strategy does provide a roadmap for maximizing success, that is, being profitable and also realizing a return on investment, ROI. In other words, strategy offers clarity on the big picture when it comes to organizational objectives and to make sure that all employees are on the same page. But why should any company spend time and resources on strategy formulation at all? Well, the answer is simple. Without a thorough strategy formulation process, it is not possible for an organization to survive in a competitive industry. That brings us to environmental and internal scanning. Leaders must constantly scan the external environment for trends and events that affect the overall economy, and they must monitor changes in the particular industry in which the company operates. At the same time, they must evaluate their own resources to understand how they might react to changes in the environment. For example, intellectual property is a vital resource for Tesla. So we can take a look at the topic of evaluating the external environment and the concepts and tools for managing companies' internal resources. Because these two topics are very closely related, they should be studied together. For instance, experts predict that global car sales will grow from 70 million United States dollars per year up to 125 million US dollars per year in 2025. Given this, Elon Musk needs to ponder whether Tesla has the right resources in the right places so that they can continue selling their electric vehicles in a profitable manner. Thirdly, our strategy formulation is our 3rd step in our strategic management process. That is, strategic formulation is when we are selecting the most appropriate and efficient ways to realize the organization's visions. So we are actually taking actions to make sure that we are realizing our goals and objectives. Specifically, we are developing strategies and actions. These specific strategies and actions can include corporate level strategies, which answers the question, which industry should we compete in, as well as questions about which geographic regions should we be in. We can also look at choosing business level strategies. Once we have identified the industry we're competing in, it answers the question, how do we compete in this specific industry? And this step is also about using several analytical tools to figure out the best way to use an organization's resource to meet its goals. One very popular way to examine how to use resources to meet goals is the SWOT, which means it's the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for an organization. The SWOT provides a detailed and comprehensive analysis on strategy formulation and also helps an organization determine whether a particular strategy is fit to be implemented. So let's do a personal example to make these concepts a little bit easier to relate maybe. We have Sean, who is a hardworking professional who was recently promoted to head of HR in his management consulting firm. Sean is great with people, they trust him and they enjoy working with him. He was a perfect fit for this new role. Only a couple of months into his new role though, trouble started brewing. He has created many new initiatives and projects and they seem to falter, and tasks are not being completed, there's miscommunications, and people are understanding the goals differently, meaning they're not on the same page. Sean is frustrated and ends up calling his mentor Maya. Together, they work through the strategy formulation process. And although the results are not instant, Sean really starts seeing the clear benefits of strategy formulation 1 year down the line when his projects are finally starting to be successful. 3 years later, Sean's track record as an HR leader impresses the shareholders and earns him a promotion to Chief HR Officer. Which brings us to our fourth and final stage, the strategy implementation. This means crafting an effective organizational structure and corporate culture as well as leadership. Leadership might even matter most because we need an ethical leader to lead our employees, to show support and help them. And without the right hard structure and soft culture and leadership in place, it will be very challenging to be successful. Our employees really need support to carry out the work so that they can be successful at the daily, right? So what is going on a Tuesday afternoon? Do the employees have the support they need? They get that support through processes, policies, designs, and the right leaders in a great climate. And that is our strategy implementation. So in the description box, you can read a summary of our 4 steps. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the bell for the next video. Share this one and like and subscribe. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.